What is going on, party people? I apologize about the noise. That is the heater going because it is brick out here. It's actually not too bad, but I still do have the heater on. So what we're gonna jump right into today is I drain the oil out of this Sima, and we have a little bit of seeping around the oil pan. The car looks like it's been sitting for a long time. The oil looked really nasty, kind of gunky. So I dropped the oil pan and cleaned everything. Everything actually looks pretty good inside. I'm gonna finish wiping everything down. I cleaned the oil pan out. I actually had to like put cleaner in there and wipe the crap out. It was caked in there, kind of sludgy. The oil was definitely sludgy. So just clean everything out. It looks good now. I got a fresh filter, fresh oil. We are going to reseal this pan, put it back up, and let it dry for a little while before putting oil into it. The absolute best sealant is Honda Bond. I use this on every single car, and if you talk to people that build motors, a lot of them prefer this stuff. I use it on everything. It is the best on the market. It's about 12 bucks for a tube, and it is well worth it. I have 3 or 4 tubes on hand at all times. Highly recommend Honda Bond if you don't know about it. All right, we are done with the oil change on the Sima. Inside the Shima, we got the factory cluster, which is 8,000 RPMs, 180 kilometers per hour, and we are at 70,201 kilometers. What we are going to put in is the Nismo unit, Nismo old logo, which is awesome. That is a 9,000 RPM tack and goes to 280 kilometers per hour. Now this one has 88,000 kilometers on it. So we're gonna take this apart and we're gonna adjust it to make it the exact number as this, so we don't fudge with the odometer at all. Now it's fairly easy to do it on these old speedometers that are just dials like that. I'm not going to show you guys how to do it because you can do sketchy stuff like that, and I am doing this to be non-sketchy and keep my original mileage. So it's not like we're lowering the mileage on it. I just want the authentic mileage to match. All right, so this all comes out fairly easy. You have, I believe, 6 bolts on the clamshell. Lower the steering wheel down. You got 2 bolts for the surround for the cluster. You're gonna wanna lift it from the top, and then you got these clips on the bottom. You gotta give it a good tug and it pops out of those clips, and you could feed it right out the side over here without even taking the steering wheel off. So now you got 4 screws holding the cluster on, and you should have enough to unplug it from the back. Okay, so we're going the flat routine. You're gonna wanna flatten it out. There we go. Plenty of room now. And voila, cluster is out. You know, I kind of made the plugs look easy, and they are easy, but I'll tell you right now that my fingertips are hurting. Those clips always hurt, especially when it's cold out like it is now. Yeah, I got a nice tingling sensation going on. All right, so we set this little table up so we can look at these clusters and see what's going on. Like I said, this one is 88,000 kilometers and this one is 70,000. So I've never done this on a Y33, but every other car I've been able to, if I had to replace a cluster, I've been able to, you know, set it at the correct mileage like this. So we are going to give it a shot. And I'm not going to go too hard on it because I don't want to ruin this cluster. It's very expensive and I cannot replace it. So we're going to see what we can do. Worst case scenario, the car's going to show more kilometers, but I think I can get it to be matched. So I'm going to pull this apart and get to it. All right, so with this front cover off, how cool is this? You can see, get it in focus over here, all of the gauges. They are covered up, but they all have Nismo old logo on them. on the corners. That one's up there, and that one is down there. So you can see that they're all legit Nismo. Wish it said it on the face on everyone, but at least we got it on the tack. We are done with the surgery. So we are at 70201, 70201. So now they are matching. So let this video be proof that the car has original mileage still. It is not tampered with. It still has low miles. The exact miles down to the last kilometer, it is exact. And that's exactly what I wanted to make sure. Because you change a cluster, even to a Nismo cluster, a lot of the Skyline guys did it. I did it back in the day. And then that car, you know, they come with Nismo clusters. You have no idea how much kilometers is on that car. This is an original car, original low miles. It's all documented, and I'm documenting this Nismo swap, so it is exact. All right, so to install the new cluster, it's just going to be reverse of taking it out. We're going to slide it in, wiggle the connectors in, put the screws back, put the surround back, put the clamshell together, and we should be good to go. And that's all there is to it. So let's get the screws in. Before putting it any more together, we are going to test its functions. Let's see. Oh, everything's all wacky. So far, so good. All the lights work. Oh yeah, look how cool that looks. All right, so looks like we're going to have to figure out what the hell is going on with the tack, because it's got a mind of its own, and that's not good. I do not like that. So we are going to chalk this up to a failure. I put the stock cluster back in, and the car runs fine again. So I'm assuming that the computer is taking signal from this screwy tack, and it's going into limp mode, because the turbo won't even spool and make noise when this tack is in the car, when this cluster's in the car. So put the stock cluster in, it's back to running fine. So something is going on with this tack. Unfortunately, I bought this cluster off Yahoo Auctions Japan, so I have no recourse on it. Not that I would want to do anything anyways. I want it repaired. I want the cluster. So now we're gonna have to figure out what's wrong with it, whether it be a capacitor that went bad or a soldering joint that failed. We're gonna have to dig into this tack, take it apart, and see what we have to do to fix it. This is what we're gonna get into today. I don't have a beard anymore either, that's gone. A couple things we did on this Sima. We got these sweet Aerowolf little mirror visors. We got some new lug nuts, just some black, long closed aluminum lugs. We put 10mm spacer on the back, hub centric. We changed the mirror visors from smoked to this nice limited frosted Aerowolf visor on the Silvia. And what we're really getting into today is we're going to put in the Silvia cluster back in the Sima. The cluster was jumping around, and it put it into limp mode because the tack was all messed up. So what I did was I replaced all the capacitors on the tachometer. I didn't video it because I did it last night in my underwear at my house. I'm sure you guys don't want to see that. Maybe some of you do. But yeah, I didn't video it. So now that all the capacitors are replaced on the tack, we should be in good shape, and it should work, fingers crossed. All right, so we're gonna skip taking this all apart. I just took the top of the clamshell off because I did that all in the last video, so you can see how it comes apart. And yeah, I don't need to do it again. So we're just gonna skip right to putting the cluster in and seeing if it works this time. It still doesn't work. Now it doesn't do anything except for when you turn the key off, it jumps. Still puts the car into limp mode. I even took the Nismo cluster, put my original tack in the Nismo cluster. Still puts the car in limp mode. Put my original Speedo in the Nismo cluster. Still puts car in limp mode. So at that point I got fed up, put my original cluster setup back together, put it in the car, and it's out of limp mode. It's fine now. So there is something seriously wrong with that Nismo cluster, which really sucks, guys. I mean, not a cheap part. Not an easy part to find. There actually is another one for sale on Yahoo Auctions Japan, but that's like a lot of money. It's a lot of money to dump out, especially for a part I already fucking bought. We are back here at the shop. Hope everyone had an awesome holiday. I had a real good time with my family and friends. My little one, she loved it. It's that time of the year. She got lots of presents and so many toys, and she absolutely loved it. It is almost the new year. It's we have tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of 2022. Imagine that. And it's 60 degrees out here in Connecticut. It's definitely strange, that's for sure, but I will take it. I will take any day that's 60 degrees. Today we don't got too much crazy going on. We do got a little something for the Sima. I washed my truck and then a bird took a big crap on it just to get all the salt and crap off of it. No good, don't want it rusting out, so we keep that thing washed in the winter. But we got a little something for the Sima. Some parts just came in. This is a roof spoiler. So, just a little one that goes up here. We are going to install that today. We got to clean the window, and then this just sticks on. I'm letting it flatten out because it came rolled up. So we'll let that flatten out for a minute, and then we will clean the window and get that installed. Just a little something, something. But the main thing that we're going to talk about today is we're going to do some changes. We're going to, not even that we're going to do some changes. We're going to do some more content than what we're currently doing. So most of you don't know, but I, as in me and my girl, we just got a new condo. So we're in the process of moving in, getting everything all set, and now we have space, a little more space than we had prior to this. So one thing is I have a garage at my condo. So at least one of my cars, it's only a one car garage, but it's a pretty big one car. So at least one of my cars will be able to put inside the garage and free up some space inside here for a little more activities. We'll have a little more space along with a couple motorcycles. That way it just gives us a little more room inside the shop. I have a very big space downstairs that I'm gonna make into like essentially a podcast station, so we can talk to people. We can have people come and talk cars with us, tell car stories. Got lots of those. Doing this for the last 15-20 years, got plenty of them. And just a chill spot, especially for the winter. We're gonna start doing a little bit of that. I gotta set the studio up first. I gotta buy some more shit. This next coming year, we're gonna do a lot more driving. I know this last year we didn't hit many shows, or we didn't do a lot of driving stuff. We're gonna do a lot more fun stuff this year coming up. 2023 is gonna be our basically turning point. 2022, we started at the end of 21, right at the end, November. 2022 we got monetized and basically figuring this all out. 2023 is where we're actually going to get some cool stuff going. I mean, it doesn't really fit with like the window. I mean, it does, it's gonna look fine, but I thought it was going to, you know, fit perfectly on this curve against the window, but I guess not. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Out.